statistical, mathematical fact
never has been down.
has broken every single record. There is no asset that has come close.
It's the only thing in the industry that was not touched, that was not hacked, and it never fails doing what it promised in 2009. It's never
What's
failed.
the best performing asset the world has ever seen? And you'll find out that it's Bitcoin.
Welcome, Bitcoiners. Welcome. Welcome, Bitcoiners. Welcome, traders. I know I have some traders here as well. Log in. Welcome, supporters. Welcome, followers. Welcome, haters. Welcome, shorters of Bitcoin. You're welcome too. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to another live space with Oliver Velez. Of course, my name is Oliver Velez, and I am here to give the Bitcoin short sellers a hard time. Yes. It's actually one of my purposes in life as a Bitcoiner. Yeah, come on in, guys. Make yourselves comfortable. We're going to have a very interesting talk. I think this is probably going to be a relatively short talk, but I did want to address this topic today with you because I did get it from one of the members of the community here just a little while ago, this question, and I thought it was an excellent topic to touch on. And so that's what I'd like to do today. That topic is, when do you slow down or stop stacking Bitcoin? Is there an appropriate point at which you stop? Is there an appropriate point at which you take a break, slow down your conversion of fiat currency, your dollars, into Bitcoin? That's what we're going to talk about today. So guys, come on in, make yourselves comfortable. You might want to grab something, to grab the beverage of your choice. I've got some coffee here, Colombian coffee. I'm in Medellin, Colombia. Yeah. Shout out to Medellin, Colombia. You might also want to grab something to take notes with. Sometimes there's some kernels of wisdom here that we discover or come across that, my opinion, are noteworthy. So listen, for the benefit of those who've never experienced a live space from me, I do want to let you know that I don't pass the mic. I don't have those types of spaces. I feel that the manner in which I deliver the limited amount of information, knowledge that I have on the topic of Bitcoin is best served by me speaking to you in the form of a monologue or a rant, if you will, and passing the mic and fumbling with different sound issues and listening to people's dogs in the background bark and their babies cry and so forth and so on. It's just really not my, it's just sort of like not my cup of tea. It's not my idea of a very productive space. So I don't really do that. Perhaps in the future, I will bring on a special guest or two. I think that has some merit. But for the time being, guys, you're just going to be stuck with me and my rants. I also want to let you know that each and every one of my live spaces does wind up on my Bitcoin podcast. That podcast is called Bitcoin Unleashed. I would like, if you can do me that favor, is search out Bitcoin Unleashed on your popular, on your preferred podcasting platform. Find Bitcoin Unleashed and follow it, subscribe to it. If you find anything that I have to say of interest, then you will certainly find power-packed former episodes on just a variety of different topics, all of which touch on this amazing movement, for lack of a better word, called Bitcoin. So listen, I want to thank you all for tuning in live. All of these sessions are recorded. Again, as I mentioned, they do wind up on Bitcoin Unleashed, but they also stay recorded on x.com as well. All right, guys. So listen, let's just delve into this. I was asked, Oliver, so seriously, the person asked today, Oliver, I think it was Mike who asked, Oliver, seriously, when do you stop buying? And my response to him was never. And I wanted Mike to understand that I'm not being facetious. And that's my goal with you here today. I don't know, guys, if you can hear that in the background. You might not be able to, but I'm going to close the door. Give me just a second. All right. So my goal here with you today is to let you know that I believe that it is never smart to stop stacking Bitcoin. And I don't say this, I don't use this word never loosely, nonchalantly. It is not being used in a facetious manner. I am not joking. Do you understand what I'm saying? When I say never, I mean never. My mom used to say when I was a kid, Oliver, never say never, son, because you never know. And I would say, Mom, you just said never. And she said, stop playing with me, boy. You know what I'm saying. Never say never, Oliver, because you never know. Well, I'm sorry, Mom. I will never stop converting the weak ass US dollar into Bitcoin. Never. There is never a time that it is smart to hold the weak and to forgo the strong. Never is it smart to take the inferior and hodl the inferior, to hold on to the inferior, as opposed to changing the inferior into the superior. It is only when the item becomes superior that I will hold on to it. But as long as I have the inferior and I have the option of converting it into the superior, I am going to do that. And price doesn't matter. You see, this is where people get mixed up with this. They confuse they base their decisions on what the weak is telling them about the strong. It is important to understand here, people, that when you read the USD denominated price of Bitcoin, you are reading the dollar's opinion of what Bitcoin is. I don't care what the weak ass dollar tells me Bitcoin is worth. I know that Bitcoin is superior than the pieces of paper that I am forced to work for. I know that Bitcoin is superior, and I am not going to let the dollar's price of the superior influence my decision to convert that weak ass shit into the superior, into the strong, into the invincible, into the eternal. And so I want to delve into this a little bit so that you understand my mindset. Now, whether you adopt my mindset or not really is of no consequence to me. I will share it for the benefit of those who find what I have to say of value in any way. But I want you to think about this. I want you to smoke on what I'm about to give you, okay? All right, let's go. So my answer to this question goes something like this. Oliver, when is it time to stop buying? When is it time to slow down? When is it time to stop converting US dollars into Bitcoin? The answer is never. Now, I want you to listen to me carefully, as long as I am forced to earn in a week money that I did not choose. You see, you and I didn't choose the money we are forced to work for. We were born on a piece of property, let's say called the United States. I'm going to call that the plantation called the United States, right? We did not choose where we were born. We did not choose which plantation we were born on. Some people are born on the plantation called Germany. Some people are born on the plantation called the United States. Some people are born on the plantation called Argentina. Some people are born on the plantation called Venezuela, Turkey, Canada, Australia, Russia, Ukraine, Great Britain, Spain, Portugal. You get the point. These are all plantations. Each of these plantations have created a coupon that they call the US dollar, or a coupon they call the Argentinian peso, or the Turkish lira, or the Russian ruble. All of these are that's plantation money. So I am by no choice born on this piece of property where the property owners, the truly elite that run that plantation, have created their own coupon, and they tell me that from the day you become somewhat of an adult, you must wake up every single day and you must work for my coupon. I did not choose the plantation. I did not choose the coupon. I have no choice but to work for their cheap ass, weak coupon. Now, what they do with these coupons is they paint little numbers on them. So the U.S. plantation paints the number 1 on every single dollar. But that's the trick. The number 1 that they paint on it is the trick, because every time I pull a dollar out of my pocket, it says the number 1. But every time I pull it out, it's actually less than 1. It reads 1 forever, but it forever is less than 1. Every time I put the dollar in my pocket and pull it out, it is not the same value. It is less than the last time I pulled it out of my pocket. And this will go on forever. So as long as I am forced to earn a weak ass money I did not choose, I will convert that shit to Bitcoin every day of the week and twice on Sundays. As long as I am forced to take my pay, you want to force me to take my pay and you're a weak ass coupon? A money I don't control. As long as I take my pay in a money I really don't control, I will convert that shit to Bitcoin every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Do you understand me? Do you hear me? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? As long as I am compelled to give my life, do you know what my life is? My life is time. Is because if you give 40 hours a week to a corporation, to a job, you are giving your life to that corporation. You are giving your life to that time, to that company via your time. Your time. Life is the stuff that time is the stuff that life is made up of. We've only got a certain amount of time. And so by being on these plantations, we are forced to give up our time, which is really to give up our life for their weak ass coupon. A coupon, a money that they control. The elites that run the plantation control the coupon. They control the money. They make up the price of the money. So as long as I am compelled to give my life for a money that is designed to steal 2% at best from me and 10 to 12% at worst from me every single year, I will convert that shit to Bitcoin every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin is at $67,000. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin is at 100, at 1 million, at 5 million. That's not the point. The point is that if Bitcoin is at $1 million and I'm still forced to receive your weak ass coupon, I'm converting that weak ass coupon to the stronger Bitcoin. Price doesn't come into factor. And I'm tired of you guys out there drawing your squiggly lines on freedom. Bitcoin is our freedom from this plantation life. Do you understand? We are trapped in a world. We've been indoctrinated to believe that working for another man's money that we don't control, that is designed to steal from us every single year. A money that tricks us into believing that it stays the same because they had their artists paint a certain number on the coupon. You have to understand that Bitcoin is our escape. We didn't have an escape before Bitcoin. We now have an escape. We have an option. We have a stronger money. And we've got 15 years of proof that it is stronger and that it is stronger by an exponential amount, that it is true, that it is honest, that it is available to every human being on earth, and that its monetary policy won't change. It won't lie to us. It won't flip the switch. It can't be bought. It can't be manipulated. It can't be controlled. And it's a money that I can truly own, that is truly mine when I get it. It is no other man's. And I don't need any man's permission to use that money. I don't feel safe with US dollars. I feel safe with Bitcoin. Do you realize, listen to me carefully, people. Do you realize that there is today, this is the clown slavery world that we're in today. Do you realize that there's not a single human being outside of the elite class that run these plantations? There's not a single human being on earth today that can send what they call their money to another human being without the permission from another man? Are you freaking kidding me? I can't send my money to you without another man's permission, without Master's permission, without plantation owner's permission. I want you to think about this. Pause for a second and think about this, people. It is impossible today to send your money somewhere to another person, to another relative, to another business. You need the permission from another man to move your own money. Anything that you need permission for is not yours. Did you hear me, Bitcoiners? Anything that you need someone else's permission for is not really yours. So it's not your money. If you send money to someone through Venmo, Venmo approved it, gave you permission. If you sent your money to someone via PayPal, PayPal approved it. And if they don't like who you send your money to, you won't be able to send it. If they don't like you, you won't be able to send it. If they don't like who you're sending it to, you won't be able to send it. I can't pay someone in another country, Japan or Spain or whatever, without their bank approving their receipt of the money and without my bank approving the sending of the money. There's actually two slave owners in between me and the person I want to pay. Their bank must approve them to receive it, and my bank must approve me to send it. What kind of shit is that? We have been brainwashed and indoctrinated to believe that that's being free. Then the money that you force me to work for, that you debase on me by 2 to 12% every single year of my life, that you make it go down in value so that I have to work harder for the same thing every single year. This money that you force me, that you make me, that you compel me to work for like a freaking dirty slave is really not mine. It's really your money, master, isn't it? Because I can't even move it. I can't even do anything with it without you approving it. But not anymore. Something happened in 2009 that changed the game, that flipped the switch, that gave us an option, that gave us a money that we actually own, a money that we actually have, and a money that no other man can touch, influence, and a money that I need no one else's permission to move or send. I can put 12 words in my head and go anywhere in the world my heart desires. I can jump on any plane from any airline and be in a different country in a set number of hours with all of my wealth, all of my value, all of what my time produced in the past, and not a single human being can stop it. Try confiscating 12 words from me. Ha! Try it. And if you don't treat me well wherever I land, I'll just go somewhere else. For the first time, we are free. For the first time, we have our own wealth. And our own wealth doesn't have to be placed in and placed in the hands of another man like I'm some freaking imbecile. And I'm tired of you guys telling me that, Oliver, I'm scared of holding my own wealth. You've been such a slave for so freaking long that you don't even want to own your own shit anymore. You don't even want to own your own money. You don't even want to be in control of your own wealth. You'd rather stay in your little comfortable prison cell with your little prison drawings on the wall. You paint the bars different colors, and you throw a little rug on the floor, and you say, look at my little prison cell. Isn't it very nice? And master tells me when I can eat. I can eat 3 times a day, and I can earn little change and to buy my little things in the prison commissary, but I'm told when I can go out and buy those things and when I can't. You're just so freaking comfortable with your prison life and all that you work for being in the hands of another man that when it's time to take back control of your life, to be free again and to own your own shit, control your own shit, you're freaking scared. You guys disappoint me. That's right, you do. You disappoint me. Oliver, I'm scared. I'm scared to protect 12 words. If I can't trust you to protect your own shit, what kind of man or woman are you? Like, if I can't trust, if you can't trust yourself to hold your own value, your own worth, then who else can trust you? You're a useless human being. I'm sorry for being harsh, but that's the way I see it. You sound pathetic to me. Oliver, I'm scared. Oliver, what if I lose it? What if I make a mistake? But yet, you know what? You'll sit on your living room floor for 4 hours putting together IKEA furniture. You know how fucking complex putting together a piece of IKEA furniture is? You're telling me you're scared of protecting 12 words? Really? On Christmas, guys, you'll sit there for 4 or 5 hours putting together your daughter's Barbie dollhouse, your son's Hot Wheels track. I've done that. You'll go work on your little Ford Mustang in the back, in the garage, but you're scared of holding your own wealth, scared of protecting your secret. Because that's all your Bitcoin is. Your Bitcoin is your secret. Your Bitcoin is your word. In the old days, we used to say, my word is my bond. This is what meant to say that if I give you my word, you can take that shit to the bank. Do you remember that? My word is my bond. If I say it, it's real. Well, for the first time in a very long time, our word is our Bitcoin. Our word is our bond. Our word is our value. And if you can't keep your word and you need another man to keep your word, to keep your value safe for you, you are a slave. That is all that you are. We have the exit. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have the escape. If you don't take that escape and you prefer your comfy prison, then that's on you. That's on you. But I am telling you this. I'm always saying this. As certain as night follows the day, I'm out, guys. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm done. As long as I am forced to earn these stupid pieces of paper that I don't control, that is used to steal from me every single year, as soon as they pass that shit to me, I'm converting it into Bitcoin. I don't care what the freaking price is. Price has nothing to do with it. And the only thing that will stop me the only thing that will ever stop me is if these pieces of paper that I'm forced to work for all of a sudden become more superior than Bitcoin. And good luck with that. Now, I'm not saying that these pieces of paper that we are forced to work for have no use case. I'm not saying that. Use them. Use them. Use them to pay off your bills that you need to pay off. Use them to do what you need to do in this life. But anything extra over and beyond that should be going into the strong. Pay your mortgage with that bullshit. Pay your rent. Buy your groceries with those pieces of junk. Yes. All right, you've heard of the saying, you've heard of the saying in Christianity, right? Supposedly attributed to Jesus Christ. Be in the world, not of the world. All right, we're forced to work on the plantation. All right, I'll use that shit to buy milk and eggs or whatever. But when it comes to anything that's left over, that's going to be converted into the strong. And that's how I prefer to live my life anymore. I can't unsee this, guys. I'm done. I can't unsee it. The curtain has been lifted. I have finally seen, thanks to Bitcoin, I've seen Oz for what Oz really is. It's a broken down, failing fiat system that is designed to make me work harder every year for the same shit I worked for last year. My groceries go up every single year. So to feed my family, it took me an hour and a half pay to feed my family, to buy groceries for my family last year. This year, it takes me 2 hours to feed my family buying the same shit. And then the next year, it takes me $2.50 to buy the same shit to feed my family. Then $3, then $5, then $6, then $10. I am forced to work harder for the same thing every single year until I die. And some of you think that's the safer option, that Bitcoin is the riskier option. You're a sucker, guys. You're a patsy. And the patsy doesn't know he's the patsy. I'm not the patsy anymore. I stayed ahead of the game. I was one of the fortunate ones. I beat the system, but it still doesn't stop me today from being angered at being taken. We have an option today. We have an escape. Bitcoin is not just another asset to invest in. This is doing deep respect to Bitcoin. It is freedom. Bitcoin is not just another stock to play for a period of time and flip back. I'm not going back. When I get free into Bitcoin, it's not going back to slavery. I'm telling you. And this is how some of you sound with me. Oliver, so when is it time to take profits? Take profits to what? Dude, I've already escaped to the number one thing on planet Earth. So what do you want me to do? Sell the number one thing for the 17th most number, the 17th thing? The 5th thing? The 2nd thing? You want me to go backwards? You want me to go back from my freedom to slavery? You don't get it. Anyone who's thinking about taking profits still doesn't get it. They're looking at Bitcoin not as freedom, not as an escape from the system that enslaves us. They're looking at it like it's another item in the system. This is wrong. It's incomplete. And you need to hit the books or eat the freaking worms. As my friend on Good Day Bitcoin is always saying, or I think it's the author of uh the book. I forget the title of the book, but great guys. We have the exit, we have the escape, guys. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. I told you it was going to be a short rant today. But I hope you guys understand my take on this. And guys, listen, I've dedicated my time here to just trying to share the epiphany that I had in 2020. And it was an epiphany that caused a paradigm shift in my entire life. And I am hoping that a number of you have that same epiphany, because it's truly enlightening and it changes everything. When you begin to use Bitcoin as your unit of account, it is truly life transforming and it's liberating. And Michael Saylor is correct when he says that Bitcoin is hope, because for the first time, there is this element of hope. Not that I did not live well and not that I did not do well. I did extraordinarily well in life, and I am one of the fortunate ones. And I appreciate that. I don't want anyone to misunderstand me, that I don't appreciate what I was able to accomplish and do with my life. But I'm one of the very few that beat the system. I'm one of the very few that stayed ahead of the slave machine. And it doesn't have to be that way, because for the first time in the history of the world, true opportunity, true fair opportunity, and the potential for generational wealth is available to every single human being on earth. That has never existed in the multi-million year evolutionary history of mankind. That we've never had a spot in that history where opportunity was fairly available to every human being on earth. And today starts a brand new day, a new era. And Bitcoin has ushered in a new era for us. It's a new beginning. It's a new day. And it's a renewed hope. This is more than buying something for $1 and selling it for 2 people. This is life itself. It is freedom. And I know it's difficult for many to see it that way. But this is what I've dedicated my time here to do, is to help you create that paradigm shift in the way you see this and the way you approach it. I've promised to be here pounding the table on this until Bitcoin reaches 100,000. Once Bitcoin reaches 100,000, guys, I'm telling you, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm not for my family, not for, those who I consider mine, but I'm done with the Twitter thing. So we've got Bitcoin's at 66,000 now. We've got 66,005. We've got 30,000, we got 35,000 to go, right? And once Bitcoin hits 100,000, I'm out. My goal here was to leave behind a history of electronic footprints that people will be able to refer back to, as long as they're not deleted, refer back to in the past, in the future. So in 2032, they'll look back on many of my posts and hopefully glean something from them, to be able to see that I saw something that perhaps maybe they didn't see at that particular time. I am doing this to be able to say in the future, I told you so. Do you know why? Because I'm petty like that. That's right. I admit it. I'm petty. I want to come back 5 years from now, 10 years from now and say, I told you so. Yeah, that's right. I'm petty. I love it. I freaking love it, man. I freaking love it. Let me see if there are any questions here I can take here. All right. Shoot. Jen is asking, hey, Oliver, can you address the following question? I have a few micro strategy options calls. We did that options play as well. Very nice. Down below 400 in the $300 range. It's a very, very nice play by us. I bought, Jen says, I bought way back in Q4 of 2020. That's nice. They've done incredibly well, but I can't find a good time to transfer the funds to Stack. Do I need to just bite the bullet and miss out on potential gains? Well, let me just put it this way. I can't give you financial advice, Jen, you know that, but I will tell you this way. I want to give you, I think the benefit for you might be the mindset I'm going to share with you. For the first time ever, we have something that delivers certainty, and that is Bitcoin. We've never had something that delivers certainty. We've always had to trust or believe. Do you understand? We've always had to trust in something. Whenever trust is required, it's imperfect because you don't have to trust, Jen, that your name is Jen, do you? Well, I trust that it is. I think it is. I believe my name is Jen. No, you know your name is Jen. You don't have to trust that that today is Monday, do you? No, you know today is Monday. You don't have to trust or believe that 1 + 1 = 2. You know that 1 + 1 = 2. Whenever trust is required or you're required to believe something, then it's an imperfect thing. Bitcoin is perfect. Its monetary policy is laid out all the way to 2140. It has never failed over the past 15 years. It never will. It can't be hacked. It's never been down once for a single second over the past 10 plus years. All right. It's never broken its promise ever in the last 15 years. It's done everything that it has said. We have a certainty in something that we've never had before. And so I tell you this, I tell you all of this to answer your question this way. You can never be wrong moving to Bitcoin. Never. So that's my answer to you. If you cash out of you're up enormously in your options. If you were to cash out today and just move that shit to Bitcoin, how can that be wrong? It can't be. You can't be wrong moving to certainty. So do it whenever you like. You can't be wrong. Don't take this as a timing thing. That's viewing Bitcoin incorrectly. Bitcoin is your safety. Move to safety whenever you want, because what you're in now is not as safe as Bitcoin. You've won with it. Congratulations, but it's not as safe as Bitcoin. It's a leverage play on Bitcoin. It's useful. I use it. My traders and I use it. We've done the options plays on MicroStrategy as well and done extraordinarily well. We've used the miners. These are things on top of Bitcoin that are useful for trading. I don't trade Bitcoin. I trade these things for more Bitcoin. So do it whenever you like, Jen. You can't be wrong. Don't get hung up on the timing here. That's my answer to you. John Power, Bitcoin evangelism. That is right. That is right. Absolutely. Mike says, can you do us live spaces on every 100,000 increase beyond 100,000? That's actually not a bad idea, Mike. I like that idea. I like that idea. Coming back after every 100,000 increase after 100,000. But guys, listen, my word is my bond. I do want to let you know that I'm out at 100,000. This is not sustainable, what I do here. I try to answer every post. I try to like every single thing. It's just not sustainable for me. But I've decided to do it because I thought it was so extraordinarily important. And you know what's I am proud of what I've done with Bitcoin. I am. Since March 12th of 2020. I'm very proud of that. And I'm positioned very nicely. But I will tell you this, that I'm actually more proud of the fact that I helped over 2,000 people. And I'm not talking about you people here. I'm talking about private members of my Bitcoin club, my Bitcoin Master Club, right? I've helped close to 2,500 people, a little over 2,000 people, hold on, not lose faith, and continue to stack during the 2022 drawdown. I kept pounding the table, telling them that this is where the generational wealth comes from. It doesn't come from the move up. It comes from the move down. I kept them in. I kept them focused. I kept them pounding the table. And today, there's not a single day that goes by that I don't get messages that tell me how much their life has changed. And so I'm more proud of that. Keeping people in the game, keeping their eye on the ball, making them understand that it is not the US dollar's opinion of Bitcoin that is the value. It is Bitcoin itself. Don't let go. Don't let go. In fact, this is our opportunity for more. Now, the sad thing about that is that I had as many as 9,000 people. It was only the 2,000 plus that stayed and did it. And they now make all of those who left when the time got a little rough, they're the ones dejected, disappointed, and depressed today. I don't want that to be you. I don't want that to be you. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Anything else? You guys don't really ask a lot of questions. I think you're intimidated by me. That's what it is. That's okay. Oliver's a scary guy. He's scary. It's funny, man. I've kind of always been regarded as a scary guy. And the reason for that is because I don't answer to anyone. I've never answered to anyone. Never. For most of my adult life, I've always worked for myself. I've never relied on another human being, another man, another organization, another group. And there's something that most people regard as a little dangerous about someone who doesn't need anybody, someone that doesn't need a favor or need money from someone else or need help. That person in society today is regarded as a little dangerous. You know, this slave is a little less of a slave than we are. What's up about him? Oliver, you're dangerous. You're dangerous, Oliver. All right. Close my main account. I like that name, by the way. That's not me saying that. That's the name of someone. Close my main account. Saying, Oliver, can you talk about your process for preparing these talks? How do you go about it? How much do you plan? Dude, I do it like on the fly. I don't plan a single thing. Like Mike asked me this question and I just said, you know what? I answered it and I said, this is a great talk. Let me just pull up the mic. And I scheduled it right at the moment. Now, was there any preparation for it? Zero. I don't need to prepare for what I know, guys. But at the same time, I will tell you this. I have been speaking publicly on the topic of financial freedom for over 30 years. Every single year for the last 3 decades, I have traveled the world giving talks on financial freedom. I am still today one of the most sought after financial market players on the topic of trading markets for a living. Corporations, companies, institutions invite me every single year to come to their organizations and speak to their traders, speak to their money managers or whatever. I do this every single year. And I've done this for the last 30 years. So it's just part of me now. I can grab a mic and I can talk your freaking ear off. But, what's funny about this is that, for some reason, because I've, managed to reach a certain level of sophistication as far as financial markets are concerned, there's this propensity for people to assume that I'm an expert on everything else. And I'm quick to tell you that I don't know anything else. I know trading, I know financial markets, that's it. But I know absolutely nothing else. I have done nothing else with my entire life, ever. My parents wanted me to be a professional pianist all my childhood life. So from the age of 3 to the age of 16, I was dedicated to piano playing. My parents demanded it. I had a natural talent for it. And I was on my way to being a professional pianist. That was my life. That was everything that I was immersed in. But at the age of 15, 16, I discovered the market. And much to the chagrin of my parents, that became more important to me than playing the piano. So I tell my mother to this very day, I'm 58 years old. When I speak to her, every now and then she'll blurt out, "So Oliver, when are you going to go back to playing the piano?" I always tell her, I said, "Mom, listen, I play a keyboard of a different nature today. Sorry, Mom. Sorry." But my point is that I do no preparation for these talks whatsoever. It's all impromptu, guys. And I've found that if I do prepare, it's stilted. It's just not me. I'm more natural off the cuff. Now I might, if it's something very serious, I might take some bullet points. Like, okay, I want to talk about this, that, boom, and that's it. A few bullet points just to keep myself organized, because sometimes I just go off on these rants and don't really get all the points across that I want to get across. But that's more just to stay in order. All right. Is that it? That's all you guys got for me? Let me see. Let me check here. Huddle Jamaica saying, "Oliver, I am one of them. Oh yes. So one Huddle Jamaica saying he's one of the 2,000 plus that was with me throughout the last few years. He says, "I'm one of them. Honestly, couldn't have done it without you. I just want to personally thank you again. You have set my family up for success." I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate those comments, because, the people whose lives are changed and who have, truly positive experiences, they speak the least. And those who are disgruntled, depressed, dejected, disappointed, they speak the most. And so publicly, you tend to have this truly distorted picture of things. And this is why we can't really take a lot of things very seriously, especially if it comes from a negative angle on your social media networks, because, that 17-to-1 ratio will always be there. So you see, a person that is just disgusted, or a person who's just miserable, will spread that misery to 17 people. The person who is truly blessed and changed or positively affected will spread their message to one person. And so you get this 17-1 lopsided ratio. And so you should never take negativity as serious as it seems because it's 17-1, unfairly so. So whenever someone does have the courage to step up and publicly say something positive, it's something that I deeply appreciate because I know how rare that is. So thank you, Huddle Jamaica. Thank you. Calvin says, OV is just spontaneous. Calvin's known me for a long time, man. Yes, right, Calvin, I am spontaneous. Calvin says, I just left another space he did live with his members. Yeah, I was just live with my guys. The difference between him and others is his experience and knowing stuff. I appreciate that, Calvin. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Daniel Crowder says, multi-sig. Using Unchained Capital, is there any concerns with the company having issues and compromising the shared keys? I'm at the point where I need to add more security. No, because first of all, I will tell you this, Daniel. I am I guess you can say customer. I'm a client. I'm a user of Unchained Capital. I've had nothing but an amazing experience with them. But I think there's this deep misunderstanding that a lot of people have about multi-sig. When you're using a collaborative multi-sig company like Unchained Capital, all they're doing is assisting you with setting up your vault. It's your vault. It's not their vault. It's your vault. They're assisting you in setting up a multi-sig vault that is yours. They have absolutely no control over that vault. They cannot move your funds, touch your funds, spend your funds. Even if, let's say, they were demanded to do so, they couldn't. It's not theirs. They're just assisting you with setting up your vault. Now, what they're also assisting you with is just holding one of your three keys. So remember, in a 2 of 3 multi-sig setup, it takes two of the three to move or unlock your Bitcoin. They only have one key as a backup, one of those three. You have two, so you have control of the funds. You don't, with one key, they can't do a single thing. They can't move your funds. They can't touch your funds. They have absolutely no control whatsoever. So it is impossible for them to compromise anything. Even if they wanted to compromise, which they won't, but even if they wanted to, even if they were demanded to, they couldn't. One key in a multi-sig setup has zero power. The only trade-off with a collaborative multi-sig setup, guys, is that you leak privacy to the person or the entity that you give that one key to, like an Unchained. They will be able to see what you have. They know what you have. That's the trade-off. But you have experienced that your whole life, haven't you? Your bank knows everything that you have, right? Your financial institutions know down to the penny everything that you have. So today, I just consider the safety of that backup, just in case I mess something up with one of the keys, I lose it or whatever. There's a backup. They have one of my keys as a backup. You understand? Another way of looking at the three multi-sig is that I can travel with one key anywhere in the world. Now, one key doesn't move anything, can't spend anything. But if I were to ever need the Bitcoin, with that one key, I could contact Unchained and we both can unlock wherever I am in the world. And so I am now safe traveling with one key because even if I lose that one key or damage that one key, nothing can be done. If that key were to be stolen, nothing could be done. So traveling with one key, holding one key, and having Unchained there as the second key, just in case I need the Bitcoin while I'm traveling Europe, and I'll be traveling Europe very shortly. If I need my Bitcoin, I've got my one key, I contact Unchained, boom, unlock. But that one key is safe with me. I don't have to worry about carrying my wealth with me because that one key doesn't do anything. So I just believe that multi-sig, while it does have trade-offs, I know that there are some Bitcoin maxis that don't like multi-sig. I think that most people who are out here shouting against multi-sig, they're just poorer Bitcoiners. And there's nothing wrong with being a poorer Bitcoiner. A Bitcoiner is a Bitcoiner, but there are different levels. Like, no one with serious wealth is going to look at that setup as a drawback. No one. If you've got a few Bitcoin, okay, fine. You don't need multi-sig. But if you've got $20 million, $40 million of Bitcoin, dude, if you don't have multi-sig, you're an idiot. That's the way I look at it. All right. Hope I've answered your question, Daniel. Stutter says, investing 20,000 into Bitcoin, is that a good amount? Will it make any difference? 20,000? Oh my goodness. Well, let's put it this way, Stutter. If you had put $1 into Bitcoin in 2010, $1, do you know how much it is today? It's approaching $60 million. Oh, yes. You don't believe me? Just look that up. I'm not making that up. $1 is approaching 60. It's north of 50 million, approaching $60 million today. Now, you might be tempted to say, well, Oliver, that's then, those days are over. I don't believe that. I think Bitcoin's better days are ahead of us, not behind us, people. You can't tell me that at today's adoption rate that we're finished with that the better days are behind us. How can the better days be behind something that half of 1% of the world has adopted? Think about this, people. Come on. You're not idiots. Well, some of you might be, but most of you are not idiots, right? Half of 1% of the world has adopted Bitcoin. Not 1%, half of 1%. And you're telling me, oh, the best days are over, Oliver, at half of 1%. That's not how adoption works. The best years are in the middle of the total historical adoption phase. Just look at anything that's been adopted. The best years are in the middle, not the first half of 1%. So I'm telling you, in my opinion, Shredder, Bitcoin is going to put the past, it's going to make the past look like child's play. 20,000 is generational wealth in the future. You just can't let it go. You just can't let it go. My God, that's huge. All right. Ryan says, thanks, OV. I'm one of your BTC club members. Welcome, Ryan. Thank you for being here. I'm still in BTC and profitable thanks to you. Awesome. I'm glad you've held through the 2020 period. I hope you've accumulated more, as I was pounding the table on, especially down there at 16 guys. I was the biggest accumulator of Bitcoin, 15 and change, 15. My lowest price on this last drop was 15.8. If you've followed my work for any period of time, you know that I accumulate Bitcoin on two numbers, 8 and 3. So I accumulate on the 8s and the 3s. So for instance, I accumulate 16,003, 15,008, right? So those are two numbers. I don't want to go. It's not this place for me to go into why those are the numbers. But when I tell you that in March of 2020, when I was buying into that collapse, my lowest price was 3,008. There's that number again, 3,800. That's because I teach my traders to accumulate on those numbers. So when I started diving into Bitcoin in March 2020, my traders knew we were accumulating at 5,800, 5,300, 4,800, 4,300. 3,800, we had bids at 3,300. Those never got hit. So the lowest price we got was 3,008. And the lowest price I got on the following drop was 15,008. Right. So there's a very cool reason why I picked those numbers. That's for my private members. I'm not going to go into that now, but at least you know that when you see those numbers hit, Oliver's buying. All right, guys. Awesome. First June Bitcoin, first Juan Bitcoin. Sorry, first Juan Bitcoin. Is saying, Oliver, this can be a question for our master club. All right, let's see. I'm finding it difficult to find a way to store Bitcoin between two friends, business partners, where we both need to sign to approve each transaction, but without risking to lose the BTC if something happens to one of us. Well, that's very simple. That's what I just explained. That can be a 2 of 3 multi-sig scenario, right? Or a 3 of 5, but I would suggest that all you need, I can answer this here. All you need is a 2 of 3. So here's how this would work. Here's how I would set this up in a business scenario. One of the keys is held by the company's attorney. All right. And so your attorney or your legal holds one of the keys. There are strict instructions that your attorney has in terms of that both partners sign off on, that the attorney can only use the keys under these certain scenarios with another member. So for instance, here's how it works. You have a key, your partner has a key, your lawyer has a key. All right. Now, you and your partner control the funds. The lawyer doesn't control the funds. The lawyer is like Unchained. They only have one key. You're going to leak privacy to your lawyer, but that's what lawyers are for, right? They're supposedly bound by attorney-client privilege, attorney-client privacy rights, right? So, the attorney has one key, you have one, your partner has one, you and your partner control the funds, but no single partner can do anything without the other. Here's the thing, a single partner can do something with the attorney. And so this is why it's important for the partners to lay out under what circumstances the attorney has a right to collaborate with one of the partners. Okay. But that's how I would set it up. Now, many corporations have large multi-sig, so they might have 14 of 18. So 14 members of the board have to sign off. There's 18 members of the board, but it takes 14 to sign off. So, the mega corporations might have even, something that involved to make sure that it's always a super majority that agrees to move the Bitcoin or spend the Bitcoin for something. All right. But for two partners, 2 of 3, I believe, works perfectly fine. All right. Awesome. This is cool, man. I got a few more questions than I normally do. True is asking, with money solved, where do you think we should focus our time and energy? Isn't that, you hear that question? So True's asking, with money solved, Oliver, where do you think we should focus our time and energy? Isn't that a beautiful, wonderful problem to have? Well, shoot, since I'm free now, since what I hold is guaranteed to increase and multiply and make me better, make me stronger, make me more powerful, make me wealthier, make me more independent every 4 years of my life until I die. Because I finally have a money that's going to make me more free every 4 years, mathematically proven every 4 years. And what do I do with my time? What do I do with my life? What a wonderful thing to do. What does a slave do once he's free? Now we can start to truly live life and to embark on the path that is the true purpose for every human being. You know what the true purpose of every human being is? To discover who you are. Who am I? That's your true purpose. Who am I? What do I like? What do I want to do? What areas of humanity do I want to contribute to? We're all members of a global society, and we all have a responsibility to give our own to share our own personal gifts with the society, with that global community. So what do you have, Drew, to share? What gives you joy that you can also share with another? That's the secret in life, is it not? To find what you do better than almost every other human being on earth. We all have that. We just don't have the time to search for it, to find, to explore. We have to give our time that should be dedicated to that to another man because the system is fucked up. But when it's not, you reclaim that natural birthright to discover who am I? What is it that I'm here to deliver to life as a whole? And we all have that. And that process of discovering that should be pleasant. It should be a joy to go search for that, to find that without a worry, without a concern about the future. Bitcoin delivers that. So seek out your desires, Drew. Go where your heart desires. Travel to find who you are. Experience different cultures, see different people, try different things if you haven't found it. I find that traveling unlocks something in your soul. And so if you don't know what you're going to give life, you don't know who you are yet, find a way to travel. And you'll discover that. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I want to thank each and every one of you for attending. How many people do I have here, by the way? Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I don't even know. Have these groups gotten bigger? Oh, yeah, a little bit bigger. Cool. 61. Yeah, it's about maybe 80, 90. I don't know. Thank you all, guys, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Remember, these things are recorded. You can always come back. Please share this message if you think someone can benefit from it. And there's more to come. You know what to do, guys. Go to work. Don't stop. Don't slow down. Stack, chill, stack harder, and chill. Love you guys to death. Ciao for now. Boom. My name is Oliver Velez, and I am your 13%er Bitcoiner. Be safe out there, and until next time. Boom!